Skid Row, Los Angeles, California, 1993. Gary Busey stands at a payphone. His hands shake with anger and excitement as he fills the machine's slot with coins. The keypad is sticky. If it were up to him, he'd be back at the cabin, eating rabbit and smoking cigars. But ultimately, he didn't complain, because he knew what had to be done, and he loved the game.
Hey, it's me. I'm in Skid Row. No, I haven't caught shit yet. You told me to call you when I got here, so I'm calling you when I got here, motherfucker. Oh, who gives a shit? I could do this in my sleep. I just got a new tactical net that will certainly do the trick.
At that moment, Gary sees a raggedy homeless man, about 4 feet tall, stumble into a warehouse across the street from him.
Oh shit, I gotta go. Got something in my crosshairs.
It's 99 players, check your game. Make sure them young boys respect your name. Keep your heaters at close reach, cocked and ready. Cause the streets will catch you slipping and rock it steady. Watch your back with your homies that you feel is real. Your homeboys from your crew, yeah, them the ones that do you. I wanna take them out.
Certified cinephiles.
Take them out.
The inside of the warehouse smells like dead animals and piss. Patches, a small but very crafty homeless man, pushes aside a large piece of dusty mechanical equipment to reveal a hidden stairway below. Patches walks down the path. The large piece of machinery slowly moves back in place. Below the derelict warehouse is HNHQ, the Homeless Network headquarters. Dozens of homeless men in gray and beige, dusty clothes sit at fancy computers and monitors, all state-of-the-art technology. These men work hard every day to keep their brethren safe and healthy on the streets. Patches pulls a big pillowcase out of his satchel and drops it on Sarge's desk. It's full of coins.
This should cover last week, Sarge. I've been panhandling outside the combination Burger King Panda Express for 3 days.
Damn it, Patches, it's not about the money. You know what you did. You made a mockery of us.
Jesus Christ, we're hobos. Who gives a shit? I'm the best agent you've got. You're gonna just let the network demote me to panhandling?
Damn it, Patches, you know this ain't easy on me either. You're the father of my grandchildren. You're married to my daughter. You think I want to see her husband panhandling on the street?
You never wanted us together. This is another one of your bullshit attempts to pull her away from me, you son of a bitch. I wasn't gonna tell you like this, but me and Ariel are thinking about
Even though he had been practicing these very words and how he would deliver them to Sarge every day for the last month, Patches felt a dread. His mouth became dry. The air started to taste different. He smelled whiskey and cocaine breath.
We're thinking about getting
Well, spit it out now.
We're thinking about getting a house.
At that very second, before Sarge can process the information, the emergency HNHQ alarm goes off.
What in Sam hell is going on? Is today fuck-ass day? Damn it, Patches. We'll talk about this insanity later. Grab a weapon.
Sergeant Patches walked to the far wall in the control room. Sarge grabs a rusty tire iron. Patches, a trident-shaped tree branch, each prong sharpened to perfection by the weapons specialist Dave Piss Pants. The two hear a cackle. Gary Busey falls from the air ducts above them and lands in the center of the control room. Many of the nerdy computer hobos get frightened and run for the escape pods, which are just giant Amazon Prime boxes they hide in.
You vagabonds are more sophisticated than I thought. The boys are gonna love seeing this place.
You're not welcome here, sheltered one.
Dusty train hopper.
Busey shoots a net gun at Patches and Sarge. Before they can react, it envelops them. They are unable to move.
My name's Gary Busey, the actor, and we're gonna have some fun.
We know who you are. You're very famous.
Why are you doing this?
I'm practicing for a role. Doing a movie with Ice-T next year. I'm taking you back to my cabin where I will hunt you.
Since when are you such a method actor? Aren't you, like, a bad actor? You think you and Ice-T were cast in a movie together to win an Academy Award?
This will surely be another vapid action flick that'll bomb at the box office.
You're a D-lister, Busey. This movie is gonna be trash. I'll be sleeping on VHS copies of that thing in 3 months.
William drops from the air ducts, falling to Busey's side, holding a high-tech sci-fi shotgun.
Shut up, dirty old movie critics.
He cocks the shotgun and blasts the hobos. Sarge and Patches are blown away in an instant. Their bodies turned to coagulated goo by the futuristic shotgun Will lifted from Time Cop.
Wait. Hey, what year are we in? Were those evil dystopian movie critics from the future, or... Oh no, were those just homeless guys? Man, I wish Baby Gunn hadn't murdered Time Cop. This time travel stuff is really confusing.
Oh, yeah, kid, whatever. Those were the bad guys. Let's get out of here.
I was about to freak out. Because this wouldn't have been the first time. You know what I mean? You start time traveling, and then the weight of taking a life just sort of goes away.
Gary Busey and William light the warehouse on fire.
William saves the day again. I'm getting good at this.
Luckily, no other homeless people were killed, but still, pretty messed up. They can't all be success stories, you know? Give Will a break. He still saved like a lot of people. After they burned down HNHQ, Gary Busey offered him some cocaine, and he said no. So that's pretty good, right? Huh? He didn't do any drugs. Busey. That's a win. It's only 2 homeless people that died. Not that big of a deal.
Certified cinephiles.
Welcome to another week of Certified Cinephiles.
Movie boys.
This week we are covering the 1994... Wait, was this a 1999 movie?
94, so it's 94.
The 1994 classic you may have never heard of, called Surviving the Game. A movie that crossed so many boundaries, that was a beautiful display of the socio-economic troubles of that time, and even today, more so now than ever. And it really leaves you wondering, with an all-star cast, incredible writing, brilliant acting, why this movie received such terrible reviews.
Yeah, it does leave you wondering that. And that's the crux of the whole podcast, I suppose. And it also leaves you wondering, could I hunt down a homeless person for sports and succeed?
Yes. It is this. Okay, so the very popular book, The Most Dangerous Game, is what this movie was based on. And I felt like, I don't read. It's just like against everything that I stand for. But the things
he can read, he just chooses.
I just
not
don't.
to.
Yeah, it's a waste of time, honestly. But I'm not here to even talk about that. This movie starred none other than Ice-T, Rutger Hauer, Charles Dutton, Gary Busey, John C. McGinley, and Murray Abraham. These are
a wolf.
Yes. And a wolf. And I will say, not the most accurate depiction of a wolf, but I will say this, that for the 1990s, the way that they portrayed a wolf, that it was mutual respect, that was absolutely incredible. And we're going to get into the symbolism in this movie and all of that, but
okay.
Yeah.
I was about to pop off. Thanks for saying that.
So this movie, if you haven't watched it, I don't blame you, but you're kind of missing out. And if you actively choose not to watch this movie, well, then you're just flat out an idiot. So this movie,
Amen.
this movie follows Ice-T, who's down on his luck. He's a man. He's a houseless person, so to say, on the streets of New York, and he is found by a so-called friend, played by Charles Dutton, this guy Walter, who says, I've been where you're at, and here is employment for you, and this is really good money. Come check out this hunting establishment owned by Rucker Hauer's character with the last name Burns. That's the whole thing. Next thing we know, he gets cash up front. He's got nothing to live for. He's trying to kill himself, all that stuff. And he goes to this hunting place, and they say, look, we're going to take you on this hunting trip. It's going to be so fun, and we're going to pay you lots of money for it. And
Before even all of this man watches two good friends die. He sees two of his friends die in the first 10 minutes of this movie. The first scene, he comes in, it's a dog in him, and he's like, oh, this is about a homeless guy and his best friend dog. This is going to be cute. Mm-hmm. No. Dog immediately gets hit by a taxi.
And it's not pretty. For all of those out there that hate seeing those scenes, you can skip this part. It's okay.
It almost looks like they use a real dead dog corpse.
It's pretty. It's messed up.
It sucks.
It's really messed up. Yeah.
And the part of the show that I hate, it's going to be easy this week. The scene that we agree with the critics on, because
I just blocked that part out of my brain because I wanted to view this from the perspective of the director and the writer. And there are a lot of important... This movie's full of symbolism. This movie's full of those little tasty treats that they're showing you in the background. Very up close and personal, showing you a dead dog corpse. And what that symbolizes.
Sucked. And blood all over that taxi. Not fun.
And the taxi driver's complaining about it.
Yeah, he almost gets in a little skiff.
Yeah, a skiff.
With the taximan. Mm-hmm. But then he has an old homeless man friend, an old guy.
A Vietnam vet.
A
decorated
I can't quite
Vietnam
remember
vet.
the character's name.
His name is Jack.
He's like a wise Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack dies in his sleep. So that's in the first 10 minutes. He sees two of his friends die.
So yeah, maybe he's not quite feeling himself, and he's going to take an easy meal ticket, so to speak.
He's going to try and kill himself, and then this predator comes along and says, hey, whoa, I can help you.
Keep in mind this man's
Not
wearing a Christian t-shirt. Okay, it's got a cross on it.
That would have been my first clue to get the heck out of there.
Nope, right out of there. Oh, boy.
I mean, I'm a Christian, but I'm a cool Christian.
Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I'm not going to shove it down people's throats.
I'm not going to wear cross. I don't hang with people that wear cross.
Yeah, I don't wear cross. I don't wear cross, and I don't know anybody that does, because if I did, they would be gone. Out of my life.
Yeah, I don't dangle cross.
I mean, I hang cross, but I'm not wearing cross. And I'm not going to dangle cross.
No way. Yuck.
Yeah. So you get the picture of what this movie's about, and it's interesting, Pat. This movie really had me thinking about where our society's headed currently. It wasn't too long ago that I took a tour of Skid Row, and I felt like I connected really, just from my one tour of Skid Row, I really connected with the main character, Ice-T, in this movie.
Yeah. Were there a lot of guys out there that look like him?
No, it was just, you could tell that, there was camaraderie. It was just people that were making the best of their situation. And it's hard. It's hard out there. Yeah, it's hard out there.
Yeah,
So
they're out there making 2-story houses out of cardboard and stuff. It's really beautiful.
they're doing some wild stuff, and but before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we just have to talk about the elephant in the room. So Certified Cinephiles is no longer affiliated with Jeff Truffle Shuffle Cohen. Um, turns out
Everything was
that
going so well.
yeah, some events transpired, and I don't know if we are allowed to get into the details of that, but I mean, I guess in full transparency,
It's
maybe
going to
we
be
should.
public record.
Yeah,
It's going to be public record eventually.
exactly.
After the
So
trial, it'll be public record. Who cares?
yeah, it's just we've talked about my old days of being a little prankster and swatting a couple households like for laughs, like shits and giggles, and how that some of those events led to people no longer being alive, and
Yeah. Will swatted a family, and the SWAT team family annihilated them. And it's not directly Will's fault, but
I would have
that being
never have
said,
known. I couldn't have known. I couldn't have
none of
possibly known.
none of it would have happened if Will had not tried to do a prank. So, yes, it is Will's fault, but he was not trying to murder anyone.
So it turns out I'm a little bit more connected to Hollywood than I had previously thought, because the
Yes.
family that, in that particular instance, that the SWAT team had decided to attack and kill, turned out to be in relation to our lawyer. To Jeff Truffle Shuffle Cohen. I mean, can you believe that? Like, what are the odds?
His aunt's house. It was his aunt's house. It was his aunt and
aunts
cousins.
and they were very close. So it's just kind of funny how this universe works, because that is just so.
He was flying. We were in his office. He was flying through these cases. He loved us. We were riffing. We were having fun. He said he liked the pod. But then he just went pale when he got to the specific case of Will. I'm not even involved with it. This is a case I had nothing to do with.
Yeah, I owe you
but
one.
it turns out Will is a little bit more connected to Hollywood than we thought, and he swatted a whole Hollywood family that was related to our lawyer, and now we have to get a new lawyer. All in the past. Let's tell him about our new lawyer, Bill.
Yeah, this is all about moving forward. Here at Certified Cinephiles, we're not putzing around feeling sorry for ourselves, okay? Yes, we might have at this point 6 different lawsuits against us, and I am looking at a lot of time in federal prison for alleged things. But
you're not going to go to prison.
Thanks, Pat. Well, and that's what our latest lawyer. Do you want to introduce him, Pat?
I mean, you found him. You're the one that keeps getting us these famous lawyers. I don't know how you keep doing it, but another child actor lawyer.
That's right. His name is Charlie Corsmo. But yeah, maybe that name sounds familiar to all of the ladies and gentlemen
I'd
of
hope
our
so.
age.
If you're listening to this podcast, you're a goddamn movie pervert like us, and you should know the name.
Yeah, it's the movie's called Hook, and let's just say that there was a little boy named Jack, the main star of the film. Yeah,
Jack. That's our lawyer. But he did not stay in Neverland because he is an adult now. And he is a good lawyer.
Yeah, he's a great lawyer. He's been practicing law on and off for a couple years now. On and off just because he's been debarred and rebarred and all sorts of good stuff. Different states, all of that. So
state line, different rules for law. It's all very above board stuff, but
you can be.
The good news is,
You
Go
can
ahead.
be a litigation lawyer, and you can be our lawyer. You can be a lawyer for like mortgages and stuff like that, and like businesses and like stuff like that. And then you can also defend us for alleged criminal activity in the courts. It turns out, but
And
it
a-
just yeah, just kind
And
of
a bunch of lawyers with pitchforks and torches just chasing us.
It's really funny, honestly, if you think about it. And I know the man upstairs is laughing too, which always gives me a hoot, knowing that the man upstairs is having a holler. You know, some good belly
I
laughs.
thought you moved into a new apartment building.
Oh, I'm talking about our Christian God.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
You can tell.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can tell our Christian God is having some belly laughs. Every time I
Oh,
hear
sorry.
thunder, every time I see lightning
By
crack,
Imagine Dragons. Every time you hear Thunder by Imagine Dragons, you think of the big guy upstairs.
and that's an understatement. I would say the majority of Imagine Dragons songs have me absolutely
I'm a
hands.
leader, got a feeder,
Yeah.
not a murder. Thunder, but lightning thunder.
Or the song that goes,
thunder.
I'm a believer, believer, believer. My hands, yeah, my hands are just up in prayer.
Radioactive, radioactive.
Whoa, 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 I'm a believer. Yeah, that's
I'm sinking stones, I'm picking nose, I'm up and down. Radioactive, radioactive.
yeah. And
If you don't
get,
hear Christ in those songs,
yeah,
don't wear cross, but jam drag.
if you
in.
don't hear Christ in those songs, I just really hope that you would reach out to either one of us and
We can
just
have
allow
Bible
us
study.
to just allow us to like meet and talk, and let's grab a cup of coffee and let's just talk, because there's probably something missing in your life and we know exactly what it is because we've been there.
Come to our church. Come to church with us.
You're gonna love it. It's really fun. It's not like a normal church. I mean, we have people playing rock music. We have big TV screens, and we do all sorts of fun events on the side. I mean, after church, we're watching the Broncos, we're watching the Bears, we're getting together. I mean, even our Bible studies always like at the Rock Bottom Brewery, and we're
we drink
sipping
beer during
brews
Bible
and-
study.
That's right. We're reading the gospel, and we're making notes about God, and we're making notes about the flavor of these of the hops.
Notes
and
about
all
God,
that
notes
stuff.
about hops.
Yeah. So we really,
IPA
in
in peace. Amen.
that's not the first time he's made that joke. He makes it every week, and I'm telling you, it's a riot. You should see how the whole room lights up, because
I've started home brewing. Thanks for the kit, Will.
Hey, my pleasure.
And that's going to be I'm working on an India Pale Ale, and that's going to be the name of it. Just a little improver alert about my life.
Yeah, and these are the most artisan style beers I've ever had in my entire life. This man uses spices. He takes the term India Pale Ale to a whole new dimension with curries and garam masala and chana masala, chutney even. I love the chutney beer. It is spicy.
Yes.
And what is that beer that you have that tastes just like spaghetti sauce? I love that. I feel like I'm drinking Prego right out the bottle.
That is the red ale.
Yeah.
I tried to make a red ale. I couldn't figure out how to make it red. So I just dumped some marinara in there.
And it's red. It's red and thick. And you know what? It's so good. It has me every time I make spaghetti now. I pop open that bottle and I take a sip out the jar. Every time, because and that's the problem with Pat here. He's running such a small operation. That 6-pack of red ale. What, that took you a couple months?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting many bites on people wanting distribution of my beer, but I have
Not
been lucky
yet.
enough to find an Italian restaurant here in Fort Collins
Mm-hmm.
that wants to buy a lot of my red ale to cook with, and I'm
Yeah.
of two minds about it because I want it to be a beer, but
Yeah. No, seriously. It's just a matter of time because, and seriously, listeners, it will hit you in the face. The taste will hit you in the face. It's absolutely amazing. So, but enough about that. Feel free to reach out to any of us about Jesus, about our church, about just hanging with some guys. That's all it is, really. And did I mention beach volleyball in the summer? I'm not much of a competitive person, but when it comes to beach volleyball, well, let's just
oh,
say that it's a hoot. All right.
see,
I take it
him
very seriously.
he's a different guy out in the sand. I can't play anymore
I am.
because I want this podcast to keep going. And if I play in the sand with him, it'll come to blows most likely.
Well, we've had discussions about my anger and certain things I was working on, and
I think it's a good outlet for you. I just don't think you should curse during the games.
yeah, that's when I really get
That's
cursing.
what set me off.
That's when I really get cursing, and I do apologize.
Don't curse in the sand.
Yeah. I haven't. I haven't in 6 months, 4 days, and 3 hours.
This is in general or just in the sand?
In the sand.
Okay.
Haven't said a
I was gonna
curse
say.
in the sand since then. 6 months, 4 days, 3 hours. Oh,
Can I hear you say one now? Just a little one?
Let's get back to this movie. This movie, I will say that this movie truly, deeply, and without a shadow of a doubt, is my favorite movie of all time. This movie
Really?
has, yeah, I know, and
When you texted
I'm a
me
critic,
that, I
but
thought you were joking.
no way,
That's incredible.
Jose.
I mean, I love this movie.
This movie blew my socks off, to say the least.
So let's
This
get
movie
back to the
blew my
plot a
socks
little
off.
bit. So
Okay.
Cole decides to. He says yes to the dress when it comes to this Christian man that approaches him, and he goes and sees this doctor, Dr. Burns.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be our main villain of the movie. He is a freak of nature. I don't get him. I don't
Yeah.
get him at all. The other
He's
villains
very
in this
much
movie, the other bad guys, I get.
They're evil. No doubt about it. This guy,
This
the
guy
mastermind
is something
behind it all.
otherworldly. He's otherworldly.
He reminds me of in the third Santa Claus movie, Martin Short's character playing Jack Frost. That's how evil we're talking. I mean, truly
Oh my goodness.
boot shaking scary.
You hammered the nail on the head. That is exactly the kind of villain where this is the behavior. It's very similar to Jack Frost in Santa Claus 3.
Very scary.
So if you can, so that's kind of the level of scary we're dealing with here. So if you can't handle that, don't come a knocking here.
Yeah. With that combined with what happens to the dog in the first scene, I'm going to go ahead and give this movie a rated X. That's not to say don't watch it. I actually highly recommend you do, but please, no children around. Please. No
Unless
children.
they're pretty smart.
Okay. Yeah.
If they're
Maybe-
a smart kid, they'll understand the imagery and the symbolism, and they won't take the atrocities. Oh, no, just remembered a scene that I don't think a kid should see.
What scene was that?
Yeah, don't let your kids watch this. The scene when the guy gets his freaking legs blown off.
Oh, hey, improver alert. That is one of my favorite
Improver
scenes.
alert.
we're gonna get to
scene
that. That scene,
kicks
honestly,
ass.
yeah, that scene actually just made me grateful for my legs. To put
Yeah,
it
that
briefly.
Ice-T sends that guy's legs to the shadow realm.
He's confused. His legs are blown off.
That explosion bonked him back to last week.
He didn't even know where he was. And you know what? It was a little funny. But you know what? With this movie
It was.
explained, this season we've gone over key players, whether they are personal issue, or they're as people are the problem and a part of the Hollywood elitist deep state, or they are just like Carrot Top, #free top. They are
Free top.
a product of the Hollywood elitist deep state, and just like Van Damme was made into a terrorist. I know I hate saying that word. There's a curse word for you. Made into a terrorist
Put
and
it in
an
the
enemy of the
curse
state.
jar.
But in this movie, you'll notice that a wonderful psychiatrist character with a small scar on his face, very intelligent man, played by the incomparable, amazing Gary Busey.
Yeah, this is my favorite scene of the movie when all of these hunters and Ice-T are around the dinner table in this cabin where the game, quotes, will be taking place. And this is actually, this is actually where my God tier scene takes place. So I don't know if I should elaborate more quite at this time.
Not at this
But yes,
time. Let's get into.
But Gary Busey is my favorite character in this movie. He tells truth, and you
Okay.
can tell the pain in his eyes was happening to him in real life, and he was using that in the movie.
I just need everybody to know that if it isn't obvious at this point, if you haven't been really listening to us, the Hollywood elitist deep state will stop at absolutely nothing to get their way. When they have put a target on your back, there's no place you can hide. There's no place you can go to escape them. It's created a lot of terrible situations for people. It's why Bam Margera is in a conservatorship. And Gary Busey is definitely a person with a target on their back. Gary Busey was, ahead of his time. And he was always very stubborn, knew his way, and he was never going to kneel down to anybody. He wasn't going to kiss any rings, so to speak. And the powers that be in the Hollywood elitist deep state absolutely hated that. So
Yeah.
they did so much to Gary Busey. What all has Gary Busey incurred, Pat, over the years?
Well, I mean, I can't be certain of it, but he definitely. I can't be certain of it, but he probably was gang stalked like I currently am. They were probably eating his food. He looks like he's being tortured. These people go to such great lengths to cause you to wreak havoc on your life. It is a nightmare. And not only did they attack him in his personal life, he's one of the strongest actors in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And improver alert, he is the first one to die. And you're like, what? That character is already gone? It's still just the beginning of the second act. And then you start to dig like we do, so you don't have to. We kind of filter some of these atrocities through our brains, and that's why we're the ones doing all this research. So we try to protect you, the listener, from a lot of this stuff. But his character was killed, and they rewrote the script because of the stuff he was doing to try and expose the deep state. And it's rough. Cool,
Which he has.
Cool scene though. It is a really cool scene.
Some of the things that Hollywood's elitist deep state has done to Gary Busey is just like infecting the streets of New York and Los Angeles with crack cocaine in the 80s. They also
Yup.
they
Which was what Steel was about.
Guess who got Gary Busey addicted to crack for more than 2 decades? Informants by the Hollywood elitist deep state. Has this been proven?
Weinstein's guys.
Pretty much. Exactly. These are Weinstein's guys, which have been known as DEA informants. They're the ones that have access to it. They're the ones that, I mean, people have been killed for saying what we're saying, but look, at this point, the truth is worth its weight in gold, and there's nothing that can stop us. From there, Gary Busey still stood. He was like, yeah, sure, I'm addicted to crack cocaine, but watch me be in more movies this year. Sure enough, he did. Then he got into a motorcycle accident where he had such significant brain trauma that he died for 10 minutes. Then he woke back up. He had brain surgery. They got his brain back together. They powered that thing back on, and he died again. He died again during the brain surgery.
His insurance was paid for by the Hollywood deep state. It was doctors that were in the pockets of Hollywood, and these guys goofed up.
Exactly.
They got their wires crossed. They fucked him up.
Wires
now
crossed
he's so misunderstood.
Wires crossed is an understatement. And on top of that, he's been hit with allegations that we won't speak on. And
not at this time.
No. And so what do you do to the man you can't kill? Well, you're going to assassinate his character as much as possible. You're going to tank every monetary endeavor possible, and that includes every single movie he's in. They're going to tank it.
They literally assassinated his character. Well, Ice-T did. And you'll notice when we get to it that both Will and I's God tier scenes have to deal with Gary Busey. There's no excuse for him not to be in this movie more, except for the deep state wanting him gone.
Exactly. Without a shadow of a doubt. And I do implore all of you listeners out there, please do your own research on Gary Busey. And really, I'm not just talking about the first...
We're not trying to...
Look, not the first page of Google results, okay? I'm talking
we're not alarmists. We're not conspiracy theorists. Dig deep. Go to the 4th page of Google.
3rd, 4th, 5th page of Google. Not the first, but like 3rd or 4th. You're going to see the real shit.
And if you're a real detective, like us, use DuckDuckGo.
And yeah, because, sorry to be the bearer of bad news to you guys, but Google's owned by some pretty big heads with a very interesting narrative. And I'm not going to say what it is.
The internet is your brain now. The internet is your brain. You have the internet at the tips of your fingertips. Internet's your brain. You decide how you use it. And you can use Google if you want to.
The 3 steps, and this has been known by like physicists and like the smartest brains of the world have said this. The 3 steps to technology takeover, meaning AI, like Terminator, WALL-E, stuff like that happening, are 1, creating a complacent human. And you do that by creating a complacent human through means of what's that word? Convenience, i.e. Google. Number 2, convenience leads them to what's that word?
Maybe talk about this on the next episode. Maybe read up on it again.
Complacency. Convenience is number 1. Complacency is number 2, and then the 3rd is takeover.
Oh my God.
Yeah, think about how close we are. So DuckDuckGo, we can't We're not sponsored by them. This is just our take. Do your own research. And for the love of God, just understand that the first 2 pages of Google are going to be paid for by Google. Okay? But
Yeah.
enough said. Enough said. Google paid for your votes. Let's just say that. And while we're at it, yeah, Google controls the Academy. Google controls Zillow and the housing market and oil prices and every little ounce of news that you're being fed that you look up on a daily basis. You're seeing it with your own eyes. Guess what browser you're using? I sure as hell doubt it's Safari or Internet Explorer. Sorry, I'm getting off my
I am
soapbox.
excited to see what they do with the artwork for Black History Month.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that. It's going to be good. And
I love that. You know what I'm talking
you can
about?
still absolutely.
On Google, they make the artwork for holiday. I love that. I think that's so fun.
Yeah, and you can still. Here's the thing, everybody. We don't live in a polarizing. As much as the news media, Google wants you to think that we live in a polarizing society, we really don't. It's a spectrum. So yeah, you can enjoy Google's like doodle of the day or doodle of Black History Month without just doing your own. You can still do your own research on the 3rd or 4th page.
Yeah, go to the 3rd, 4th page. Go to 3rd, 4th page.
Yeah, go to the 3rd, 4th page and really read the results. Really read what's popping out.
And this
you'd
is
be
a little
quite
bit about how
surprised.
the hot dog is made for us. You're kind of getting an idea of how we do research, but we're also we're out. We don't do all our research on the internet. We're out on foot. We're real gumshoes. We're out there. We're hitting the streets.
Yeah, just for instance, this is actually a small detail of the Gary Busey brain issue sabotage. Do you know what kind of motorcycle he was? Here, let's start from here. What has been the
I'm gonna
number
turn the
one?
light on real quick.
Me too.
I'm also gonna pee real quick.
I'll do an advertisement. Are you sick and tired of always being tired? Would you just like to have a little bit more pep in your step? Or a little bit more pep in the bedroom? Well, here at Certified Cinephiles, and me, William, personally, have been taking Alpha Brain. It's a supplement that you can find in the back of any single pharmacy, in the dumpsters, in these smaller bins labeled RX and expired goods. And you can find them anywhere, and you won't even have to sleep anymore. It will be free of sleep. You'll be just wide awake, and you won't even feel exhausted or anything. Sure, you'll have your moments where you choose to crash and you choose to lie down for a bit and sleep for 16 hours straight, etc. But the results are incredible, especially in the bedroom. That's what I'll say.
Were you talking about Alpha Brain?
I sure was. And
Dude, thanks for sending it to me.
you got it. Are those little blue pills just treating you right?
Yeah, I haven't slept for a while now. It's been really good. I've seen people that aren't there a couple times, but that's the price you pay when you got crusty piss pants around your house.
The smell of ammonia is absolutely unbearable, but I love you nonetheless, and I actually really respect your mission.
Thanks.
Really respect your mission. And we're back to this movie. So we were just talking about the Gary. This is just a small little bit of research that we're going into. So Hollywood's favorite motorcycle company is. What would you say?
Are you asking
Yeah.
me?
Fill in the blanks. Yeah.
Hollywood's favorite motorcycle company?
Yep. Favorite motorcycle company that's in every single Hollywood
Harley.
film. Exactly. Interesting, right?
Oh no. Are you
Okay.
saying what I think you're saying?
And the motorcycle used by Gary Busey when he had his freak accident caused by nothing more than a malfunction of the motorcycle was a Harley Davidson. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So
You must have gone to like the 20th or 21st page on Google. I didn't even get that far.
yeah, let's just say I have not slept. Let's just say I've been putting the alpha brain to work on this one. But at the
How
same
many of
time,
those are you taking a day?
as much as I need to. As much as I need.
How many is
That's
that?
well, that's the best part about them. They're in such a low 10 milligram dose that you can just keep taking them. As soon as you feel like you're going to go back to your old self, you can take another alpha brain vitamin and you'll be right back on top. Until inevitably you choose to go to sleep, and you will sleep for an extended period of time at your own discretion.
I've been up for 6 days straight. I haven't slept yet since I started taking them. I'm excited for that slumber.
Yeah, see, you decide, oh, okay, maybe I am a little bored. I'll take a nap here.
Luckily for us, we have a lot of work to do, so we're rarely bored.
Yeah,
I mean, Alpha
that's
Brain
true.
was made for us.
That's true. It's honestly a modern marvel what Alpha Brain is, and for that, I will always shout out our unofficial sponsor of Certified Cinephiles, Alpha Brain, with just 10
They're not
milligrams.
paying us.
No, but I mean, I'm technically getting this stuff for free, so I mean, what is money?
It is nice, but money would be
Yeah.
pretty nice right now. I am living.
It's crazy because I just realized I don't think
rent-free.
I don't think I actually told you. Did I tell you where I get it?
Where do you get it?
Just the back of the CVS, they have, right? And here's the thing. You know how when somebody is, when something's free, they put it out, usually like on the curb or whatever, they say free. CVS has a little special bin marked RX. It's got a little piece of like tape over it, and it's just like full of, it's sort of like a community space, a communal food bank sort of aspect.
Are you stealing from the pharmacy at CVS?
It's not stealing at all. In fact, I cleared it with them. I asked the pharmacist, I said, that bin back there, is that new product or is that old product that you're getting rid of? And he said, what do you mean? Like, yeah, that's old product. And I was like, okay, well, so you're like practically throwing that away. You're like giving that out. He said, yeah, we're throwing it away.
Why would they be throwing it away?
Because it's expired.
What?
It's expired, but that's like Big Pharma has, it's a money machine. It's a money cow.
Is it dangerous?
So it's like, I mean, you've been taking it for 6 days now. Have you felt like it was dangerous?
I've been seeing people.
Well, that's one small, okay, think about it this way. Our brains only operate with 10% of the capacity that they hold. So when your brain's finally using...
I heard that was a myth.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue for argue's sake, but basically now your brain's finally operating at a much higher percentage, and well, the results are going to be surprising sometimes. You're going to see things.
So
you
are you
didn't see
saying that
before.
so I'm seeing like ghosts or something?
It's possible. They actually haven't done enough science, and I only really want to speak with like peer-reviewed studies. They haven't done enough science enough research to say what you're seeing is ghosts or, actual people.
Otherworldly beings.
Yeah, it could be.
Or my
Could
piss
be.
pants. Sometimes it is just my piss
They are
pants
scary.
standing up on its
I
own.
have been scared by those.
Will slept over. He's
Those
walked
corduroys
into 'em on his way to the bathroom.
Those corduroys aren't just stiff; they're sharp, and it feels like you're getting shocked. You go by them, and you're gonna get cut because
They're full of electrolytes.
It's like being, and your skin itches if you touch it. It's like fiberglass. It really is. It's like that Pink Panther fiberglass from Home Depot. You know what I mean? You touch that, you're gonna get itchy. But this man,
breathe it in, it'll get you sick.
Yeah. But I will commend you, Pat, for this, and I believe that you've developed a superpower, much like how honey badgers can resist the venom of wasps and bees, or a mongoose can resist the venom of a cobra. You have grown to resist the burning, acidic, sharp pain of your daily corduroy.
I figure
urinate
that's
into.
just kind of part of, I'm a prepper. And I have been, we all know I got kicked out of Denver because of the cockroach infestation in my old place. I had to move to Fort Collins. And I am still building my cockroach armor that will protect me from any nuclear blasts. But that's just kind of,
He's gone very far with it. He's gone very far with it. You'd be very surprised. And you'd be very proud of him, just like I am. I'm very proud of you for that.
In a doomsday situation, I figure, heck, the world's just going to smell like piss. Everyone's going to piss themselves when they die. There's going to be piss and shit everywhere. So I'm just kind of building up the immunities to that now. And between that and my cockroach armor, I do believe that I will be kind of like a warlord in the new normal world after the apocalypse.
No doubt about it. There's no doubt about it that you're going to be a warlord. And for that, I am excited. If I had to say there was a silver lining for the apocalypse, that's probably going to be it, to see your rise to power. And I'm going to be like, to everybody, all of the naysayers out there, I'm going to be like, look how he was grinding this entire time. This man was on a grind 24/7 for like the last decade. Never stopped, hardly slept, always on the grind, and now he's finally made it. And that's what I'll say.
Yep.
And they won't even know.
Thank you.
Of course, absolutely.
And if you survive, if you survive the end days and you are there, I will protect you with everything I've got.
Thank you. And I to you.
And I will help you make your own cockroach battle armament in the same method that I built mine.
That's the problem, is that I can't source the cockroaches at the level that you were sourcing them before. And it really is just a supply chain issue. The supply chain is truly messed up, and
that's why you need me. I can help with that.
I'm
a roach guy. And I fell out with him for a while, and that's why he did a prank on me. And that's why I had to move out of my place. I don't fucking live with roaches all over the place. My roach guy did a prank on me at my house in Denver, and I had to move. We're back on better terms now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize his power.
And this roach guy was... Okay, everybody in the chat, please, can you calm down, all right? The roach guy is real. The roach guy is very real. Okay?
They like to poke fun at me. They like to say I'm a liar. I don't like these guys in the chat.
I've never met the roach guy. No, I've never met the roach guy, but why would I not believe my friend? Get with it. It's called trust. So
he's very clandestine. He doesn't like a lot of people around. I have to do one-on-one meetups with him. Why would you think I'd lie about a roach guy?
It's messed up. You guys, okay, go back to...
The armor's real too.
Yeah, go back to watching Coco Melon, you guys. If you don't want to be adults if you don't want to be adults in the chat, I'm going to turn it off. And I hate to be this guy, but if you're not going to be adults, I'm going to have to turn off the chat. Okay? Go back to Coco Melon.
This is why we haven't had it on some episodes. This is why we haven't had it on some episodes, because
Or
you
why
guys
we
act
will
like
flat out
babies.
ignore it. Yeah, seriously, go back to Coco Melon if you're going to act like that. Only adults in the chat,
T-Rex?
please.
T-Rex, if you keep saying my cockroach battle armor is fake, oh,
He's just trying to get you riled up,
don't
Pat.
make me put your address in the bio.
He's just trying to get you riled up. He's
Don't
just trying to
make
get
me
you
put your
riled up.
address in the bio.
Because he
Well,
will.
let's move on. I can't see chat. I'm not looking at it.
All right, Pat. So now we're getting to the nitty gritty of this beautiful episode. Only 48 minutes in, and we have the funnest parts yet to talk about. So, Pat,
Yes.
what was the scene that took you by surprise, made you cry, left you speechless?
Oh, jeez. I mean, a lot of it did, but the goddamn... I was speechless when Ice-T took that bath. I was like, I thought he'd be more of a shower guy.
Oh, but
And
yeah,
he's
but he was drinking wine.
He's drinking Mad Dog. And
Yes.
he, like, ate raw chicken breast or something.
Oh, yes. I loved this scene. This scene to me showed, like, hey, just because they are houseless and they're poor. I mean, this entire movie was speaking about this, but yes, he's houseless. Yeah, he is digging through the trash for food, but it doesn't make him less human. He can enjoy a nice tub and some nice wine and cut his
Right.
hair, just like anybody deserves to. And you know, this entire country wants us to feel like the homeless population is below us, that they are there because of
What they did, not what the
because
system
of what they did. And
With
just
this
want to
movie-
say, this movie paints a really nice
it's-
picture.
Because you see all these hunters, and it's a doctor and a therapist and a whatever, and they're all
CIA.
CIA, and who's the real animal? Huh? The careerists who are hunting this guy, or the homeless guy who's just trying to find a meal?
They are. Which is obvious why this movie was tanked, aside from the Busey aspect, is because this movie was a little flippant of the bird to the mega rich, which, as we know, control the narrative of Hollywood very much.
It's Google, the mega rich, and Hollywood. It's the dark triad, and it's our enemy
Ooh.
who we are
We
battling
can't even
every
get
day.
started on the dark triad. We've both talked about how the dark triad is season 3. There's a little improver alert for season 3 is that the dark triad will be coming in full force. But to be real with you guys, we really have to settle up with we really got to settle up with these lawsuits we're in. And so
Let's get Will out of this swatting lawsuit first, and then we can try to take on Google, the mega rich.
if we can get me out of this swatting situation, I really feel like we can do anything. If we can get me out of this one, because it's not looking good for me. I'm gonna be in full transparency. It's not looking good for me. All right.
Hey, chin up. Chin up.
Yeah, it's just easy to get lawyer after lawyer, and you finally think you found the one, and then you killed their family. So, not directly,
You
indirectly.
Indirectly, you killed their family.
Allegation.
You didn't know that was going to
alligated,
happen.
Alligated.
You didn't know that was going to happen.
I had no idea.
We did do a blood pact, and I said I wouldn't do the podcast without you. So if you do go to prison, we would be on an indefinite hiatus. Which
Well, California no longer charges for phone calls. So I've been trying to map that out as well and see how I could make that work.
And maybe
doesn't seem so
maybe
bad.
we have to do the whole third season from prison. We will do that if we have to.
An Orange is the New Black situation.
Yeah, because you'll be in lady prison.
I hope. My God. How cool would that
You would
be?
thrive in lady prison. They would love you in lady
Now
prison.
that's a dream. That's a dream. I think that maybe they have like a personality test, and that's sort of like where you can go, like where you're going to fit in. And yeah, I'm a very nice guy, and I would treat women with complete respect and dignity and, just like the humans they are. So lady prison would be great. For me, the scene that left me speechless, and we've mentioned this earlier, but Walter, one of the main bad guys, this is they're not. He's not. Ice-T's no longer even running. He's hardly being hunted at this point. This is full on war. I mean, if you would consider this whole movie is very Home Alone-esque, and at this point, this is just pure war against the hunters. The hunted
This
has now
movie,
become
let
the
me
hunters.
put it to you like this. If Home Alone took place outside, but instead of a kid, it was Jonathan Davis from Korn in blackface. That's what this movie is. But it's actually Ice-T.
But it's actually Ice-T. Yeah, and side by side comparison, I think you're really onto something. But so one of the bad guys hops on his ATV trying to chase after Ice-T, and you know what happens? His entire ATV blows up, and his freaking legs are gone. He's laying on the ground without his freaking legs. His legs just got blown the fuck off. Absolutely incredible. It was devastating. It was disgusting. I passed out and came back, and the scene was still going on, and I loved it all the same.
It was brutal. And again, a motorcycle crash, explosion accident in the movie. Is that someone alluding to what the deep state did to Gary Busey? We may never know, but it is quite a
Peculiar.
Coincidence.
Quite the
very
coincidence
least.
that the movie that shows that not only stars Gary Busey, but alludes to how the top take and take and take, the richest take to become more richer, while the poor are getting poorer. And it also shows just how they done did it to Gary Busey. They done did it to Gary Busey that way.
They booby-trapped his bike, just like how Ice-T booby-traps this black guy's bike.
Kablooey, legs gone, and yeah, he dies shortly after that. Ice-T's picking them off one by one. It's exhilarating. It's going to make you thirst for more. You're going to want to keep going. All right, Pat.
Yes, you will.
I forget. Do we go God tier or is it the critics?
Let's do critics.
Because we have some people we're going to shout out at the end that are critics that we have some words to say. But before we do, Pat, what's a scene you might agree with the critics on?
I talked about this earlier in the episode. It's when his dog friend Pingo or whatever dies.
Same. Didn't have to.
Come on.
You really didn't
have to show the
it.
dog corpse.
You could have just alluded to it. You didn't even have to really have that scene in there. I get that it's based on the book and whatever, but that's just the one. I'm like, yeah,
You didn't
it's
need
still
to
a great
put that
movie.
much blood on the taxi.
Yeah, you made it look like a frickin' watermelon exploded all over that taxi. It's just, made me sick to my stomach. Also a scene I passed out and woke back up to, and it was still going on. But on that
might
note,
be from
Pat,
the Alpha Brain.
No, not at all. There's no side effects in that way listed yet. There's no side effects in that way listed
Okay.
yet. All right, Pat.
I trust you.
You know what time it is. It's time.
Wave your hands in the air for the God tier scene.
It's
We're
God tier
gonna shoot you
scene.
with a gun if you don't like us. God tier scene.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah,
you know what it is.
baby. Ooh, make
I'll
love
start with this
to me,
one.
baby. Oh yeah.
Oh shit! You really do have a voice for radio. I could listen to that all day.
Thank you, William. As I said before, both of our God tier scenes deal with one of our favorite actors of all time, Gary Busey. What was your God tier scene, William?
Oh god, that's so smooth. They should really call you Smooth, Patrick Smooth.
Thank you.
For me, it was in this scene where Ice-T, he's in this cabin, this trophy room of cut off heads, and he sees his own trophy case where his head will go. And he just starts dumping gasoline and kerosene all over this shit, and he waits till they find him. And Gary Busey confronts him and says, "How you like your meat cooked, extra rare?" And Ice-T says, "Try well done, bitch," and lights the whole place on fire.
Yeah. Throws him in there. He cooks. He's the first one to die. And this is when you know Mason, aka Ice-T, is going all in. And
Yeah.
you're like, what the heck? How the hell is he going to do this? Well, watch for yourself.
Yeah, just how did Kevin McAllister do what he did? Well, Ice-T has a whole list of fun pranks he's pulling on these guys.
Yeah. Marbles in the forest. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not quite. But watch for yourself.
Yeah. All right, Pat, what do you
My
have?
God tier scene. My God tier scene is that scene when they get to the cabin and all the hunter psycho murderers are eating the pig with Ice-T, and then they talk to Gary Busey's character, and Gary Busey tells the tale of his first love, his dog, Saint Henry James or whatever.
The Bulldog.
Henry St. James. And he
Charlie
tells him
St.
he
Cloud.
Charlie St. Cloud. He raised this little dog from a puppy. He loved it as a boy. And then on his 13th birthday, his dad takes him out into the forest and makes him torture his dog until it bites his face. And
then he
that's
kills
the day
it.
he became a man, and he had to kill his own dog. He had to snap his own dog's neck. And while I hate that they had brought violence against dogs back into the fold, Busey's performance just elevates this scene to a whole nother level, and that is my God tier scene, just based off of his performance.
It's actually completely improvised, and speculation that that's actually a real story of Gary Busey's. But that was not written into the script.
Yeah.
So, just
Some
fun
say
fact
it's a
about this movie.
metaphor for what the deep state is doing to him. The dog being the deep state, or the dog being the movie industry, his dad being the deep state, him being him. But that's all speculation at this point. All
Just
we know
speculation.
is he is one of our main characters in the fold. We're building an army with Carrot Top, Van Damme,
Free Top.
Busey,
Van Damme. Busey.
Seagal.
The chess pieces are all there, and let's just say to the Hollywood elitist deep state, check.
Mate.
All right, Pat, let's get into some of these dumb fucking idiots that wrote what they really felt like they needed to say about this movie. All right, we're going to start with Christian Gale from the Boston Herald. Christian wrote, "This thoroughly absurd action flick that thinks it has some sort of social conscience badly needs a what the heck were they thinking smack upside the head to humble it."
Christian,
boy.
Christian. Not a man
You're-
of Christ, huh?
You know what, Christian? You're basically the same as the people complaining about them burning down targets. All right.
Yeah. You're the guy on top of the Best Buy with a sniper rifle, waiting for Antifa. You're an idiot. You're a little coward, and I bet you've probably tortured a homeless person to death. That's the only person that would hate this movie is someone like that. You freak ass.
Yeah, Christian Gale, you freak ass. You truly are the scum of the earth because your ignorance is showing. Really, it's called.
And if you make it, I doubt it, but if you make it to the apocalypse and we stumble upon you with our beautiful cockroach armor on, you're going to wish you were dead, sweetie.
Sorry, sweetie. Christian Gale from the Boston Herald, you're going to wish you were DEAD if we make it to you in the end times. Because
Good luck.
there's not going to be the laws that you so love and abide by. What we're going to do is going to be perfectly legal because it's the laws in our hearts and we take matters into our own hands.
And we don't forget. So you'll be on your hands and knees and we'll be like, remember what you said about surviving the game in 94? We didn't. Pop, pop.
Christian Gale, you are officially personal non grata.
Non grata.
You're personal non grata.
You're our own personal non grata.
Yeah, Christian, you're our personal non grata, and I would hate to be you.
That's to say it.
All right, but enough of you. We've wasted our time with trash, and just
you will not You will not live rent free in my head, Christian.
Yeah.
You will not live rent free in my head.
Okay, so here we have truly a nerd to the worst degree, a George Fisher from the New York Times. Okay, get a load of this. You know, I almost feel bad making fun of this person because it's so obvious that they're a nerd that like doesn't have sex or anything like that. Listen to this.
Self-report.
Yeah, cheesy takeoff of The Most Dangerous Game, the book it's based on. Although it's got a lot of low-rent B-movie energy. Again, this is George Fisher from the New York Times.
What?
George, to put this frankly, I would like to hunt you. I would like to get me and a couple friends of mine.
I'd be one of them.
A cabin in the woods. And I'm going to scare you. I'm going to get you running. All right? But you're not going to make it very far. You're not going to make it very far because, you know, this isn't my first rodeo.
You'll be in lingerie.
Okay.
You'll be in lingerie.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to go shop at Kohl's, and we're going to go into the intimates section, and we're going to find the perfect fit for you. It's not going to fit too tight, won't fit too loose. We're going to know your measurements precisely. It's going to look good.
Why will we know your measurements? Because we'll have one of our agents climb into your house. He will measure you in your sleep.
Yeah.
Why won't you wake up? Because 2 hours ago while you were at dinner, he slipped something in your drink while you weren't looking.
Melatonin. 2 words.
And now he's measuring you for every part of your body for clothes.
It's going to be so insane what you're going to be wearing, and you're going to have to deal with it.
You are in for such a nightmare, George. You're going to be running through the woods in lingerie, and you'll survive if we are in a good mood.
I like where you're going with this, Pat. It's really got me thinking that I might dream up something special for George here. Maybe.
Uh-oh, Georgie.
Okay, George. We already have you in some very well-fitting lingerie, but we also might want to cover you in some sticky stuff and cover you in feathers like a big chicken.
Oh, not only will you be in lingerie, little Georgie boy, you will also be tarred and feathered. Try to escape our clutches now.
Just imagine this, George, and I know you'd be laughing too. You're running through the woods all skimpy and all that, wearing hardly any clothes, and you're covered in tar and feathers, but your ass cheeks are showing. And that is going to be so funny.
We're going to be laughing so hard.
Your ass cheeks are gonna be
with our
showing,
crosshairs.
Georgie. Your ass cheeks are gonna
Our
be showing,
crosshairs will be on
Georgie.
those bare ass cheeks, and we'll be laughing so hard. Will our fingers pull the triggers?
Oh
Depends,
my God,
Georgie.
Georgie. We're gonna have our crosshairs right on those cheeks, and it was gonna be a riot watching those cheeks.
You don't know who you fucked with.
And on that note, thank you again, listeners, for checking into another episode of Certified Cinephiles, where we take down the absolutely disgusting yet amazing Hollywood elitist deep state. Amazing in a bad way. They're just amazing in how all-encompassing they are, but they are disgusting and terrible.
I was wondering where you were going to take that.
Yeah, I'm trying to use that word in a bad way.
Amazingly bad.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Follow us on Patreon. Subscribe today. If you liked this, leave us a review, a 5-star review. If you hated it, leave us a 5-star review, and then tell us how much you didn't like it. That's fine as long as you left a 5-star review. And tell
comment.
your friends and coworkers, comment, and let us know. Let us know on our Instagram page or in the reviews what movies you want us to dissect next. We have an agenda, and we probably won't use any of your suggestions, but go ahead and comment it anyways.
We have agenda, but we like recommendation. We might take recommendation, but we have agenda.
Just depends if it fits our narrative. That's what it's all about.
And if you have some hot, juicy gossip about the deep state and you want us to pick a movie because of that, let us know. Patreon.com/birthdaypiss.
Goodbye, movie boys.
Movie boys.
Certified Cinephiles.